Hello. Hey everyone. My name is Amit and I'll be your coach for Excel sessions. In these sessions, we're going to cover Excel from basic till advanced. Now, we all know everyone, Excel is like a bread and butter for almost everyone. So, whether you are into finance, HR, insurance, whatever industry you are working in, Excel is something we all use. Depending upon the nature of our job, someone might be using this Excel for a few minutes in a day. To the other people, they might be using the Excel for entire 8 hours a day as well. So in this session, the idea would be to take you through all the features and functionalities that Excel has. So we will talk about formulas, functions, how to create visualizations. We will talk about how we can do some automation that can help you get your job done faster and you can generate deeper insights from the data. To start working with the Excel, you need to have an Excel application to be installed on your machines. See, I am using Microsoft Office 365 and different people might be using different versions of Excel, but that is not a problem at all. So you might see little bit cosmetic changes in the screens here and there, but rest assured, all the things that we're going to learn over here, they can be done on almost every version, whether you're using a 2007, 10, 13, 19, whatever version of Excel you are using, you all will be able to do all the things that we are going to learn over here. To launch this Excel application, you just need to click on Windows icon and type Excel. So if you have this application installed on your machine, you can just click on Excel and that is going to launch this empty workbook that you see onto my screen. Now everyone, Excel is called as a spreadsheet. Now what exactly is a spreadsheet? Spreadsheet is something, a software which provides you an interface of rows and columns. So you will see over here we have the columns over here and similarly these are called as rows. Now there are multiple other tools in the market as well which provide you a similar interface which is done by Excel. So we have LibreOffice, we have Google Sheets, we have the OpenOffice. In the iPhones also you will see one application comes by the name of Numbers. So any of these applications that you open up, you will see exactly a similar structure like the Excel has. It's just that these are the products of different companies. And reason being, Microsoft is something, which is a very common name. And in every organization, we use the products of Microsoft. So kind of Excel has become a synonym for a spreadsheet. Now, when you open this Excel file is called as a workbook. So this file is called as a workbook. And within this workbook, you can add multiple sheets, right? So if you click on the plus sign over here, this will help you to add more sheets into this file. So within the workbook, you can have multiple worksheets. And on each sheet, the sheet that you see right now over here, so this sheet is broken into rows and columns, which are called as cells. So like if I'm over here on this cell, so everything is a cell over here. Now, if you all notice everyone over here, these are called as columns. And columns are something which are denoted by the names like A, B, C, D. That's like the address of the column. So I am saying I am in the column number F. I am in the column number K. I am in the column number M. And the same columns can also be inferred as a number. Like A column can be called as first column. B column can be called as second column. If I say I am in the sixth column, probably I am talking about the column number F. And likewise, rows over here are denoted by the numbers. So you will see the rows where whatever cell I am selecting. So here is a row for that. Now when I'm selecting the rows or any of the cells after that, so you will notice any cell that I'm going to select, that is going to have an address over here. Say for example, I am selecting this cell number F9. You can see the highlighted cell over here. It gives me the address that I'm in the cell F9. First, I will get the column, then I will get the row. That's how Excel denotes the address of that cell. And then over here you will notice we have something called as formula bar. So this is called as formula bar. Now in the formula bar, what is the purpose of that? So whatever cell you have selected, you want to type something over there, you can see the same information can be seen in the formula bar as well. So whatever information you are entering in a cell, that is something which is reflected in the formula bar. The top over here, this is called as a ribbon. Now Excel ribbon is something very similar to the way you will see the ribbon in the other Microsoft applications also. If you open Word, PowerPoint, SQL Server, Outlook, any application of Microsoft you open, you will see this ribbon is kind of consistent everywhere. So the similar, definitely the features will change depending upon the kind of tool we are using. The different tools will have different options, but look and feel is going to be similar. Now so all these options that we have in the ribbon, we will be exploring them one by one as we proceed with the training ahead. So first of all, what we will do is we are going to talk about what are the strengths of Excel, right? So when we talk about strengths, the strengths that Excel provides us: ease of use, no technical knowledge required. It has a lot of formulas and functions to make your life easy. We have multiple formulas and functions. And like the formulas and functions are the words which are used interchangeably. We can call formulas or functions, it's the same thing. We can create charts for visualizations. We can do automation. So if you do certain tasks on a repeat basis, you can write the VBA codes for that, right? So what will happen is Excel will do all those things for you by itself. Plus we can do some statistical analysis as well. So if you see, all in all, whatever things you can do with Excel, almost everything can be done within this Excel over here. Then we have some limitations. Now, when I talk about limitations, the biggest limitation is data size. So in an Excel, what happens is you have limited number of rows and columns. See, if I tell you rows, the rows that we were talking about over here, we have total of 10,48,576 rows. And when it comes to columns, we have 16,384 columns. Like columns are like these numbers that we talked about. So a quick shortcut, if I'm on any empty cell, if I press Control right arrow, right? The shortcut I'm typing over here, Control plus right arrow. So what this is going to do is this is going to take you to the extreme last column. Now this is the last column, that is XFT. This is the number as 16,384. If I use Control left arrow, see, I will come back over here. And if I talk about rows, if I press Control down arrow, see, this is the last row that we have, 10,48,576. Yes, the number looks good, right? It's a big number. But if you're talking about the organizations like Amazon, Paytm, Flipkart, these are some organizations which are generating millions and millions of row on a daily basis, which is definitely going to be a limitation if they have to store this data in Excel. The next limitation that we have is performance. So what happens in Excel is if your data size increases, if you're dealing with a huge amount of data, so when you will apply some formulas and functions, Excel will take some time to do that calculation. So you'll have to wait till the time that calculation happens. So that's like again a limitation, that is the performance. So if we keep these two things aside, definitely Excel is a great tool to work with your data. Now moving forward, what we will do over here is we will talk about how we are going to store some data into it. So what I'll do is I would like to capture the data regarding my employee ID, employee name. I want to capture their date of joining. I would like to capture their salary. Now, see, when I have entered some data here, we can also play with the column width. If you just stretch this column from its corner, you can expand the column width for ease of seeing of the data. That's what you can do over here. I want to capture the data of some employees. Their ID is 1, 2, 3, 4. Their name is Sam, John, Leo, Troy. and I am saying their date of joining. Suppose this person joined on 1st Jan 2020, this person joined on 2nd Feb 2020, this person joined on 3rd Feb 2021, 4th April 2022. I will capture there some salaries. Okay. Now suppose this data that I have created. Now I keep my cursor on the header employee ID. Again, some shortcuts over here. If I press control right arrow will take me to the last cell up till where the data is. See, my cursor was on employee ID. I press control right arrow. See, it takes me to the last cell onto the right side. And if I press control left arrow, the same thing onto the left side. If I say control down arrow, it will bring me to the last row in the continuation of the data. Control up arrow to the above row in the continuation of the data. But if you press control shift right arrow, it will select the data till that part. It is not making your cursor jump, it is selecting that much data. If I press control shift down arrow, see, selected till the last. So quick shortcut, control shift right arrow, control shift down arrow. The entire data is selected for me. Now I will select my headers. Suppose I want to do some formatting to the headers. Now that's where in the home tab you will find these options of font, alignment, right? So if you want that all the headers should be in bold, see, I click on bold. I want to add some background color. If you want to play with the alignment, you want to keep this data, say suppose center align. So we have the option over here to move the things to the center. See, so I've just done some formatting to make the headers stand out. If I select the entire data, you have an option of borders as well. If you come over here, I can apply the borders to it. So I'll be using the option of all borders, and you can see the entire data is now wrapped inside the borders over here. Now a very important point, all of you. This data that I have captured, you will notice something. When I'm capturing any text data, so when a text data is captured, so text data means something which has characters. Text data is always right aligned and numbers are always left aligned. Sorry, a mistake. So please edit this up. So everyone, so when you store the text will be left aligned and numbers will be right aligned. So we can see this text data is coming left aligned, right? And the salaries are coming right aligned. But what about dates? So if you see over here, dates are also which are coming as right aligned. See, typically, what happen is in Excel, we have only two types of data, text and numbers. So when you are capturing the date, all of you, date is something which is stored as by default a number in Excel. So what happens in Excel, because like date is something which can have different formats. Someone would be storing the data in the DD, YY format. Someone would be saving it in the form of DD, YY format. So different people would like to store the data in the would like to store the dates in the different formats. So that is why what happen is how the Excel is going to retain it. So first of all, what Excel does, whenever you enter any date, Excel will follow the same date format which you have on your system. See, on my system, if my format is DDYY, so if I will put any date, see, suppose I want to put current date, today's date. Shortcut for that is control semicolon. So control semicolon is a shortcut to get current date. So if I enter this current date over here, control semicolon, you can see first I get the month, then the day, then the year. If you all use the same shortcut at your end, and if you are using some different date format on your system, so definitely you will get a different, the formatting based on what you had on your system now. Now, typically what Excel has done, Excel has not saved this as a date. Behind the scenes, there is a number that has been captured. And what's that number? Let's try to understand the science behind it. See, the oldest date that Excel can store is 1st Jan 1900. This is the oldest date that Excel can store. If you all see now, alignment is coming right aligned. If suppose I'm capturing the date as 1st Jan 1800, you notice the alignment over here. So over here, this is the date for Excel. This is the date for Excel, but this is not. This is not a date for Excel. Okay, so maybe this is a date for human eyes, but not for Excel, right? So this 1st Jan 1900 is stored as number 1. This is stored as number 1. So if I select this date, I have my cursor on this date, and I go over here, the number formatting, and in this what I will do is I will choose the option of number. See, I get number 1 in return. So that lets me know that 1st Jan 1900 is actually stored as a number, that is 1. Now similarly, 2nd Jan 1900 is stored as number 2, 3rd Jan 1900 number 3. So all the dates since then have been stored as consecutive numbers starting from 1. Suppose I am capturing the date as 1st Feb 1900, right? 1st Feb 1900. So this will be a number 32. So if I change it to a date, if I change it to a number, I get 32. If I enter the date as 35, if I enter the number as 35 and I convert it to a date, see, that is 4th of Feb 1900. If I talk about today's date and I convert this to a number, I get a number as 45466. That means 45,466 days have passed since 1st Jan 1900. If I enter the number as 45467, so what date will this be? Tomorrow's date. So if I change it to a date format from here, this gives me 24th of June 2024. Now similarly everyone, the way we have understood dates, time is also stored as a number, but it is stored as a decimal number. Like, if I shortcut, a quick shortcut to get the current time, Control Shift semicolon. Okay, the shortcut is Control Shift semicolon. This is the shortcut for getting current time. Now see, time is stored as a decimal part. All the 24 hours in a day, they are split between 0 and 1. So 12 a.m. in the morning, 12 a.m. in the morning is saved as number 0 in Excel. So if I change it to a number, I get 0. If I talk about 12 p.m., now 12 p.m. is like half of the day. So that is why that number will be 0.5. That number will be 0.5. So if I change this to a number, I get the number as 0.5. Right? So all the 24 hours are split between the 0 and 1. So now if I quickly put current date space Control Shift semicolon time, if I change this whole thing in the form of a number, see, I get 45466.65. Number is the integer part is giving me date and decimal part is giving me the time. So hope this concept how we are dealing with the dates and time is clear. So primarily when you're talking about date and time, they are more like formattings, right? Because in the backend, they are just the numbers. We are just applying some formatting on top of it to get the date and time. So if I go back, this small data that we had created, so all these dates that you see, these are the formatting. Behind the scene, they are the numbers. Now in this data that we have created, let's add a column of bonus. See, I want to capture the bonus. Now bonus is something which is going to be a calculated one. Now when I say calculated, what do I mean by that? Like I am saying whatever is the salary, 10% of that is the bonus. So how we can do some quick calculations over here in Excel is, if I say equal to, so anything that starts with equal to in Excel, so Excel gets to know that you are trying to write a formula. If I say equal to 0.1 multiplied by this cell. See, I have given a reference of the cell, salary cell, and hit enter. So what is now happening? It is giving me 0.1 into 1000, which is 100. And from the little corner, if you see over here, there is a small little corner that is coming on this cell. When I will hover, you will see a small corner coming up. From there, if I drag it down, the formula is now copied in the below cells, and I can see the bonus has been correctly calculated for all the salaries. With this, I'll select these cells. Let me apply some formatting over here. Now here we can see employee ID, employee name, salary, and bonus. Okay. Now all of you, once we have made this small data, now we will understand how do we do copy paste in Excel. Now copy paste is something which is very important to understand. If I select this entire data, again I'm repeating the shortcut, Control Shift, right arrow, Control Shift, down arrow. If you press Control C, so when you press Control C, you will start seeing these ants running around us. That means we have copied this data. You can select a cell and you can press Control V. Now when you press Control V, that's where whatever was written over there has been copied and pasted to the cell where you have selected. So that's where the data has been copied. So shortcut is Control C, Control V. If you press Control Z, that's undo. Control Z for undo. Again, if you have copied this content, you select the cell. You can also click over here on the paste icon. You will see there is a paste icon that we all have. So if I just click on that paste, that will also do the same job. So the more you use the shortcuts, the more, the faster you will get with this. Now everyone, like when we take a look on this data right now, maybe when you're looking on this data as a layman, it will look like that, okay, we have some values over here, but that is not the case. See, this small set of a data that we have created, in this entire data, we have values. See, what are values? Values are these, like the names that we have captured, the salaries that we have captured, the bonus that we have captured, that's like values. We have formulas, formatting. Okay, so formatting is basically colors and all that we have added, and formula is over here in these cells, the formula that we have written to calculate the bonus. Now when we are doing simple Control C, Control V, so what is happening in that case is all the things are getting copied and they are getting pasted. But if you want to control that, what do you want to copy? I mean, copy, you know what you have to copy, but what do you really want to paste? So if you select this content, copy it, scroll down where you want to paste, go to that cell. If you will come back to this option of paste, see there is a small little arrow that you will see over here. So if I click on that arrow, I will get an option of paste special. Now on this paste special, everyone, you will see multiple options, all formulas, values, formatting. So it is now giving you an options that what do you really want to paste. Do you want to paste all as in complete data, formulas, or values, or formatting? Suppose if I click on values and I click OK. Now you will notice only values have come, formatting is all gone. And in fact, if you will notice, the formatting of date is also not coming, because we talked about just couple of seconds before that date is nothing, it's stored as a number, and dd mmyy mmddyy, they are all different type of formattings that we can apply to it. So we have just got the values. In fact, in the bonus also, you all will notice I have the numbers, the formula is gone. If I select this cell, or maybe if I go back and copy the same content again and I select the first cell, I will go to the paste special. Now you know the shortcut for using a paste special is we can use Control Alt V. Control Alt V. Now when you use Control Alt V, the same dialog box opens up, and over here as well you all will notice for different options some of the alphabets are underlined. Now whatever alphabet is underlined, that's a shortcut to select that particular option. So if I come here and if I press suppose T, I have selected formats, and if I click on OK, now you can see the formatting has been copied. Previously we copied and pasted values, now we have pasted formatting. The formula is still not there. If you see the bonus, the formula is still not there. And now if I say Control Alt V, and now I choose the option of formulas and I click on OK, now you will see here the bonus will be shown as a formula. The benefit of the formula, all of you, is if I change someone's salary, you will notice the bonus will change. But had it been a proper value only, so that's like a hard coded value. Now if I will change the salary, the bonus will not be recalculated. Okay. So this is how you can use the paste special. Now paste special also offers you some other options as well. Like if I go down and if I press Control Alt V, if I'll choose the option of transpose and I'll click on OK, see the data has been transposed. So this is what happens when under the transpose option. In fact, if we want, we can do some calculations also. See, if I have some sales over here, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Now in all these sales numbers, suppose I want to add a number as 1,000. I want to add 1,000 in all these sales figures. A quick trick. Copy this 1,000, select this range. Okay, so the number that you want to add, you should copy it. Select the range where you have to add it. Control Alt V, and here you will notice the operations. So add, subtract, multiply, like this. So we would like to add, so I click on add and OK. See, this 1,000 has been added to all the numbers with just one copy paste itself. So this paste special offers you multiple options. So what you are trying to paste, what you want to control in that, and similarly you want to do some if you want to do certain calculations, transpose the data, so you will be able to find all those things over there inside it. So I hope you all would have been able to understand very basics of the architecture and how the data is stored in the backend in terms of alignment and how we are doing copy and paste special. So that's what we have learned in this first session. So in the upcoming session, we will be learning a very important topic, which is going to be cell referencing. So everyone, see you there. Thanks for watching this.